You'll notice my brother Jesuits coming up here because they're going to participate in this homily. You know, this homily is kind of like a medley of tunes, and so you're going to hear different tunes. And I also thought it's kind of like a Christmas stocking. Some of you have Christmas stockings at home, maybe hanging by your fireplace, and you have all these little gifts in there, you know, like toothpaste and candy cane, and so that's going to be what this will be. I just want to say a few words about Joseph. You know, Joseph is a very silent, kind of a strong, silent figure. He never has a speaking part in this story. And it took a lot of faith for him to trust what the angel was telling him. You know, it's kind of the annunciation that he had. Mary had her own annunciation. Well, this was Joseph's annunciation. You know, and the Holy Family didn't have a script to follow. We've heard this story so many times that we kind of know, oh yeah, I know what's next. They didn't know what was next. They were writing the script as they went. And we are too. You know, during this pandemic, we can't plan the way we used to. Every day we have to kind of readjust. We're writing the script as we go. And maybe that's the way life should be and is. That God is writing the script with us. So now I invite my brothers to share their own reflection, and let us be grateful for their presence as we're grateful to all of your presence.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. My name is Father Gene Delmore. I'm one of the 11 Jesuits who live over here at Orton Hall. This is my 9th year here in Bellarmine, and I'm delighted to be part of the community, and really wish I could be with you more personally. And we are writing the script every day, as John was saying. This morning when I went out for my walk, I like to get out early if I can, and I was walking down past Brookdale, the nursing homes down here. And I stopped in front of Brookdale and I looked up to the 3rd floor and I saw a beautiful tree lighted, and on the top of it was a glorious star, just brimming light out to all of us. And I thought of that star as bringing light to the precious people in that facility, the precious elders who need so much attention. But also to me, that's the light of God, that's the light of Christ that is inviting all of us to be aware that that light lives within us. Each one of us bears that light. We are bearers of light. And how we bring that light to each other is so very important this time of the year. This pandemic has got a lot of people down, discouraged, wondering, you know, what is our path? Well, we have to walk that path together. And if we are that light, we're going to help each other. You know, we can't do the adopt a family this year the way we've done it in the past. But nevertheless, we are the gift, and we can bring that gift in so many different ways with the technology that we have, with the thoughtfulness of our kindness and reaching out to maybe a grandparent or an isolated person in a nursing home, or a cousin or an aunt or someone that it really needs us. So let us be that light, my brothers and sisters, because we are the gift that God really wants us to be.
Good morning to you. I'm Pete Henryo. I'm a graduate of Bellarmine, class of 1954. And I'm very struck by remarks that Father John made just at the start there, which very much is something that struck me in the readings that we had, and that's the trust that is necessary. As John said, and as I reflected too, Mary had to trust when the angel came and said, some great things are going to be happening. And she didn't know what that could possibly mean, but I trust in God's love. That's what she said. And we have the same thing with Joseph, that he was rather confused. What does this mean? The wife that I'm to take now is already with child. And the angel said, trust. God is at work in this process. We may not understand everything, but God is at work. Well, that's something that I need very much, and I suspect all of us need very much, particularly in these days of a lot of challenge, a lot of ups and downs. We need that kind of trust. And so I'm going to say that one of the things I'm going to do is in the next several days, when we have so many crib scenes, or open up an envelope and there's a Christmas card with a crib scene, when I look at that crib scene, I'm going to say, I trust you, God, because that what was possible. Jesus was there because Mary trusted, because Joseph trusted, and Jesus will be with us now because we trust. So I encourage you, when you see that scene, the nativity scene, just say, I trust.
Well, the last 9 or 10 months, we've been pretty much focused on this pandemic thing. A lot of us have been in lockdown. It's not been a pleasant time. But what we have to do, we have to be very careful that we don't allow the pandemic overshadow what's happening during this season, which is celebrating a birthday, a very special birthday. And and Jesus came into the world for a reason. He came into the world for all of us, but even if we're the only person living on this earth, he would come ahead and do that. So I'm just going to say, and I say this to myself, I got to be very careful that I don't that I don't get negative about what's happening. That somehow light is at the end of the tunnel and good things will happen. And so my wish to you is to have a happy, very Merry Christmas.
I'm Matt Holland. I work down at St. Leo and Sacred Heart parishes, and I graduated from here in 2000. And like Father Jerry just said, even though it's only a week away still, it's a little early, but Merry Christmas, Lions. This year is different. I also want to say Feliz cumpleaños al Papa Francisco. Today is Pope Francis's 84th birthday. And Pope Francis has a strong devotion to Joseph. He's somebody that I look to as someone who's a real servant, and a pastor right now for the church. And Pope Francis has been talking about how one thing that we're going to experience this year at Christmas is it's going to be a lot more simple than other years. It's going to be a lot more scaled back. And in some ways, this is going to help us really enter into the mystery of the nativity of Jesus, of Jesus' birth. All of the ways that our lives are being disrupted right now can remind us of the Holy Family and the way that God breaks in, the way that God takes this remarkable risk to become so vulnerable and to be born into such a situation of uncertainty, kind of like what we're all going through right now. But there's also this other image that was in the first reading from the prophet Jeremiah, and it's of a stem or a shoot from the tribe of David. And it's a beautiful image if you can picture a tree trunk, a tree that's been chopped down, and it looks like it's dead, but then all of a sudden a shoot starts to spring up with new life. Or maybe we pave over part of the land here, and then there's a crack in the pavement, and a shoot starts to spring up where we least thought that was ever going to be possible. Well, that new life that is Jesus, and it comes and meets us exactly in the moments where we never thought he would meet us, where we found ourselves with the most kinds of questions and the most even doubts. That's exactly where that shoot of new life is waiting to encounter us and to meet us.
My name is Roy Thaden. I'm from the class of 61. I had a very good time when I was here so many years ago. Just three things that come to my mind. Goodness. One thing I learned when I was here is I had to be good. I couldn't be anything but that. It was the teachers. It was the whole spirit of this place. It was the spirit of everybody around. The music people, the teachers, everybody. They were good people. And it taught us, young people, that that's what we had to be. That's what the success really was all about, was being good. Secondly, was truth. If you learned anything in this place, it was truth. And if it was false, you were either out of here or you were told very, not severely, but very clearly, you got to be honest. You got to be straightforward. Thirdly, they gave me the light. They gave me a view of what I should be. They gave me a view, a goal to go forward to. And I'm still trying to follow that. Not live in darkness, not hide, but just really be living in the light. So with those three words, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Thank you.
I'm Father Fred Mayoski. In 1971, Christmas Eve, myself and Father Jack Doyle, a Canadian Jesuit, were heading along the Great East Road, going from Lusaka, heading in the easterly direction. It was the East Road. And as we were traveling along, we saw two hitchhikers. And we said, what can we do for them? So we stopped, we picked them up, and we said, we could take you as far as our turnoff, if that's okay. And they said, sure. So they rode in the back of the truck for the next 2 hours, 2.5 hours. We got to our road that goes down to Feira, down to Katondwe. And Jack and I were talking about a number of things. It's Christmas Eve. And so as these guys got out, we said to them, so what are you doing tonight for Christmas Eve? They said, well, we'll continue down the road and we'll find some place to stop. We said, where are you going to stay? Well, we got our backpacks. And Jack and I looked at each other and we said, listen, would you guys like to come with us down to the mission? We've got rooms down there. It's Christmas Eve. You get a chance to have some good food tonight and some really good food tomorrow on Christmas Day. And then on the 26th, we'll bring you back up here to the main road and you can continue heading east to Malawi. Christmas is about what we can do for others. What could Father Jack and I do for these people? Well, we had other Jesuits there. We had a great midnight mass. We had a great mass the next day. We fed these guys. They really enjoyed what was going on. It was the best Christmas I ever had. We had a chance to really do something for somebody else, and that struck me. That's what Jesus is all about. What can I do for somebody else? So we got a week to go. We've got a great time ahead of us. So may we think more of others than, as Father Jerry said, just think of ourselves. Oh, poor me. No, think of others and what can I do in a special way for somebody else? May God bless each one of you. May you have a really Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.